Hi snooker fans, Curtis Braithwaite and Emma Maflin here for snookerfans.co.uk. We've got the 1979 World Champion and Triple Crown winner, the legend himself, the one and only Terry Griffiths with us today. So we just thought we'd catch up with him, see how he's doing, see what he's been up to his old tricks. So, how are you, my man?
Yeah, good, thank you. Very good. Enjoying up here in Llandudno. I come every year. It's a beautiful place here, and the tournament's always good, you know. I mean, this one is, I think the frames are too long, to be honest with you, but that's what they put out. The boys don't mind, I suppose, but no, it's great. Yeah.
Yeah, top stuff. Terry, I know you're working with Ding, Mark Allen and Bingham on the tour. Tell us, what's it like working with those lads? How's the coaching side of things going?
Well, I enjoy it with them all, you know. I mean, they're very good with me, you know, and I try and do more Skype than travel if I can now, you know, because it's easy enough to do Skype, you're face to face. I travel up to Sheffield, which is, I don't know, 4.5 hours for me. Sometimes I go to Gloucester, because Paul Mount allows me in the South West Snooker Academy to bring players, you know. He's a very good friend, Paul. But I don't do a lot of travel. I do when I go with a player for the first time. I like to go to his home, and meet him, see him, get a bit of feel about him, you know, and see what type of people they are, how they'll sort of, you know, put up with me, shall we say? No, they're all very good, you know. It's just like I think the Chinese players are a little bit frightened of change, you know, and when you go there, they ask you, you know, like something like, you know, I say, what's the matter with your kick action then? And they go, oh, my backswing's too long. I said, okay, well, we'll shorten the backswing up. So we shortened the backswing. I don't like that. they're honestly, and there was another 4 there when I was in Paul's place.
Yeah.
There was you, Gudong.
Yeah, good player as well, Gudong.
Gudong, what's his name?
Tepcha or Tian Pingfei?
Tian Pingfei, and the other boy that had a barn. What is his name?
Oh, Chow Yuping.
Yeah, he was there, and another one. They were there, and I done things for them, and they didn't. They said, "Oh, I don't like that." I said, "Okay, I don't mind."
Yeah, a lot of players are like a little bit strange when it comes to change, especially when the technical change, isn't it?
Change is difficult, and these days there's no time. I mean, in my times of past in coaching, I've coached now 20 odd years, I think, and you'd have 3 or 4 months off in the summer, so I'd change the cue actions at that time with the players, obviously. But nowadays there's no time. So you can't change a cue action and go to a tournament in 2 days' time. It can't be done. So those are the things that's changing the way coaching is going at the moment in the professional snooker, in that now it's gone more to the mind type of thing rather than because they understand this, you know, the mind, that the things you can do, and I write out a lot of articles and give it to them and talk to them about it, and just to get them thinking a little different. That's what goes wrong. I mean, there's a few boys now with Victoria have lost their way, you know. I mean, Bing Tao hasn't been playing that good, you know, as he was before, and neither is Yu Long. Yu Long is playing okay. I like Ander, I do, because he's a very, very good player, you know, and he's been around a long time, but I think he just needs a bit more confidence, and so I work on those things with him, you know. It's always different for players. None of the players are the same.
You know, Terry, I want to touch on Anders Zhang, because, you know, my first memory of him, I actually remember watching him in the qualifiers for the Worlds when he qualified, the year he lost to Stephen Hendry. And he beat Ricky Walden 10-8 to get there, and he had back-to-back centuries to win the match from A-Tour. And I remember sitting watching him up in the stands and thinking, boy, this boy looks really special. You know, and he got to the Crucible, narrowly lost to Hendry 10-9. So I know he's got some savage ability, that kid.
He's got a lovely cue action, but he doesn't know it. Honestly, I mean, there's a lot like that, and not just him. There are a lot of the players like that. You know, they're always looking for something when really you shouldn't be looking for it. Yeah. So.
You know, I also want to talk to you about Xing Tong, because that kid has got some...
Xing Tong?
Wow, so much talent.
Yeah, he's a lovely kid.
And it's like it's a bit of a tortoise on the hare with you and him, isn't it? It's two different conflicting styles. Obviously, you as a more methodical player, he's just like a
he
crazy
just wants
potter,
to
isn't
go
he?
for everything.
Yeah.
He's changed a bit, to be honest. He was quite good with my coaching, and he's a bit like Jack Lusowski, when they're on it. I mean, they look absolutely out of this world players,
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the game is about winning,
Correct.
and they're both very good players, and they're both possibly winners of, I think, of a tournament, a ranking tournament at some time.
Yeah.
But not when their shot selection is like it is now. So I've changed Yulong a bit. So that in its own way, Zingtong, sorry, that in its own way changes things with him. And then he goes to the table and looks at it and wants to go for it, and he doesn't go for it.
Yeah.
So then that changes thought process and everything. See?
Yeah.
It's not just the kill action. Most of the people have got good, all the pros have more or less got good kill action. Some are unusual, like Mark Allen's unusual kill action.
Delivery
He's
very good, though.
loose in the delivery, And there's lots like that when you look at them.
Yeah.
Selby, who's been, number one in the world for 49 months.
Yeah.
His kill action, I want to give it to a dog. Well, I wouldn't, but he's the best player in the world.
Yeah.
It's not about kill actions, it's about mind. It's always been about mind.
Yeah.
But it's been brought more into sport now in the last 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
Whereas before it was all, technical stuff.
Is it what you're comfortable with as well, and what you feel works for you, as in cue action wise? Is it to do with that as well? Because you could change someone's cueing action, and if they don't feel comfortable with it, do they have to keep working at it to get comfortable with that, or is it best to just stay with what you?
Well, I'm a little bit in and out with those things, if you understand. I mean, I won't press anything on any player, because I know we'll go backwards. If they're not happy with it, they got to accept that the mind is the most important thing, and the mind is telling them, don't change our kill action.
Yeah.
You understand? So there's no point in me then saying, well, look, let's have a look at it in another 3 months, see how it goes or something. I'm very easy with that. It's everything I do is to make the player better. I tell them when I start, I've got a list of things like this that I tell my players, this is what I do and this is how I am. And I say, if you don't believe, just tell me, I don't care. If you want me to change something, I'll do it for you. And I go with them, you've got to go with them.
Yeah.
And I try and keep, especially the youngsters, I have a little bit of fun with them to train, because I could be their great grandfathers, to be honest with you.
But it is about relationships as well, isn't it?
I think the relationship is good, because they know I've played in professional snooker and had success, and understand. I tell them I've been through every bit of mental thing that you've been through, like all players have. But they don't understand, they just think it's them. Only them are having a bad time in the mind, but it's not true. So I just go through things. Some pick them up very quickly and some don't. I can't make them take anything. But I've written like 40 articles about the mind, and a lot of them, I tell them, I said, right, read that now, and then Skype me and ask me, tell me what you think of it. And they come back and they go, oh, I think it's good. That's it. Oh. Some of them, I just tell them, they're like...
You gave me one to read. Do you remember? Can't remember what tournament it was at, and it was
I got a lot of them,
brilliant.
It's to give the player another thought, you see. The ones that are not, like...
And like you say...
On the world in their mind.
They think they're on their own, but when you can see somebody else has been through that, felt all those emotions. I suppose it's it's a nice feeling, isn't it? You can relate to.
I think the players expect too much all the time. I do now. I mean, it's tough now. It's not stop. So, you go from one place to another in 5 minutes and you just play like an asshole in the last tournament. It's not great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying now. And even like Bingham now and other players have won tournaments and going straight into a tournament and can't out a ball. So there's all these things within there now. And I still don't think that the players understand how strong mental is.
No, like you said, the mental side is massive.
Well, mental now is 80-20.
Yeah.
It used to be 80-20 or 90-10, just give action. When I started coaching years and years ago, that's what it was.
Yeah.
So everything has changed. The game has changed. The standard of play is absolutely incredible these days. So everything changes, but people don't change with them.
Do you
I-
think?
yeah.
Sorry to cut you. Do you think
Yeah.
the tables are easier to play now than they were back in your day?
No, I don't think so, no. Doesn't
really-
make any difference. If you're good, you're good. If you're bad, you're bad.
I'm really glad you said that, because so many players from the yesteryear bring this topic up so much. The tables are easier now, and I'm glad you're saying this for them to listen to and actually acknowledge that, because
Yeah,
they
I
don't
don't-
accept
I
that
don't
the
think
players
so.
now are playing over high standard. They don't want to accept it.
No.
A lot of them saying, the tables are easier now. So I'm glad that you, an experienced man who's won everything in the game,
Well, they
is saying
got
that.
they see, if they're not doing well, they got to have acceptance, but they haven't got it. It's like, they're going to sit in the, well, you see them, don't you, in their chairs
Yeah.
when they play the bar shot, and it's the worst possible thing you could do. I always remember when I was in the Crucible, and in the Crucible, I won in every round in the Crucible and lost in every round in the Crucible, right? So I loved the place, I loved it, right? But what I used to do, as soon as my head started to say tingle when I was sitting down in the chair, and I looked round and got, and who was the other side on the chair? Gary Wilkes. And I thought to myself, I don't look that bad. I always remember it. And I look around the crowd. I just look around and look at the crowd. It just takes your mind away from it. Otherwise, it'll just kill you. I mean, I've had times in the Crucible where I can't get off my bloody chair, honest to God. I get in up, my legs don't seem to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's other times then I've been very, very strong mentally. So I've been through most of the things that happen to snooker players. I think that's why they like to be with me and they trust me, So
Well, you won the Crucible your first attempt, didn't you, Phil?
I know. On the Masters.
Yeah, there you go, mate.
Right.
Which is some achievement.
Yeah.
First time in the Crucible,
Yeah.
won it straight away, pal.
I tell you, son, I had the best time of all up until about 85. Yeah, and after that I got glasses and I started self-working myself as a coach for myself, which is a bad thing to do. But I loved it, I got to be honest. I loved it. I learned so much from it. I learned so much from everybody.
Yeah.
Even the people I coach, I learned from.
Yeah.
And the coaches I make as coaches, do training classes with them, I learn from them as well. You got to.
Well, they say you never stop learning, as they say. You never stop learning, so yeah, it's a positive thing. Just wanted to also ask you, Terry, about your thoughts on the current state of the game at the moment. What's your thoughts of how the game is, the shape of the game now?
Well, there's a few things. I mean, I don't play the game now, but there's a few things that I don't like. I mean, the 1-2-8 I don't like. I think a lot of the players don't like it, but for me, I'm talking as a coach now, not a player. When I go to venues and there's 30 players standing with a queue waiting to have a session on before the match, I can't put up with that. I mean, the worst one I think of all, which used to be one of the best, is York.
Yeah.
The bar becomes excellent when there was 32 players.
Yeah.
When they went there with 128, I mean, you can't move. You can't sit anywhere. The television is in the players' room and guest rooms and things like that, and it just takes something away. And it just goes on forever. And I know Ronnie says these things about players that are low down, but there's nothing wrong in him saying that, because he's not far off the mark. They are getting stronger now at the lower parts, say under 28 and 96. They're getting stronger players, but Ronnie thinks like he's spending too much time in the tournament because there's so many players. But on the other hand, there's players that want to come in. So, I mean, Barry Hearn makes all the decisions and he wants to stay with a 1-2-8.
Yeah.
But I think the game itself, I think the quality of safety, which a lot of people said that years ago it is much better, that's a load of bollocks. I'm telling you, some of the safety players, most of them here are good safety players. Not just here on the circuit. There's a lot of good safety players now. And they're no better, they're no better than the ones who were here before or worse. But that's what people say, you see, because there was more safety played and it wasn't an aggressive game in my time. But now it's very aggressive. Most of them, you could pick out a dozen that's not aggressive. I mean, Anthony Hamilton, Rod Lawless, or Rory McLeod, and quite a few players. Jack Jones, a good player, Jack is. But he needs to be more aggressive with his game on his mind. So I think there's a huge change at the moment in how good the players are. Yeah. Whether it's safety or potting and Braithwaite doesn't matter really. You know.
Fair play, Tom.
Terry, you got any advice for the youngsters that are wanting to pick the queue up, you know, in awe of all the pros? Have you just got a couple of tips or?
Well, you can't give tips to NBA that I'm not with, but that I always said when people asked me the question, when I had a snooker club and I got a private table there, they say, what do you think? Why are your snooker doing so well? I said, if anybody come in my club and I closed the door behind them and gave them a cue, they'd hit the ball on the table. That's what the game is. That's what it is. Move the ball on the coloured cloth. I'm telling you now, anybody, as long as there's nobody watching them, would knock the ball on the table. So that's what you start off with.
Yeah.
Is having the enjoyment of seeing the ball move. Of course, that's the very first part of what you get, and then you go on from there.
Yeah.
You know, so with me, I went through the whole of the amateur system, and then in those days, there's no chance of going to professional. You know, and I got to be honest, the amateur was better, friendlier. You know, I mean, we all wanted to kill each other. You know what I mean, on the table, but it was. You know, always have a drink after. The professional game is pretty, because there's so many together all the time trying to beat each other, you know. The amateur game was superb. I loved it. The best two things I ever had in my life as a snooker player, believe it or not, one isn't the World Championships. One was winning the Welsh Championship, okay? And the other one was winning the English Championship amateur.
More bragging rights, eh?
I never ever thought I'd do that, and I did, yeah. It's good, you know. The World Championships, I mean, I'm doing a few pieces about it now because there's an anniversary. It didn't seem to hit me so much as it had other people. Do you understand? It's like, you know, overnight sensation in 18 years or something like that, they say, isn't it? And but I didn't think, you know, I get a little bit embarrassed if I get too many compliments all the time. I don't know what it is. It's like it's not what I am really.
Is that just for the cameras and all that?
I don't mind it. Don't get me wrong. Now I don't mind it, but I mean it's not. You know, it was when I started off and started doing exhibitions. I was like, didn't have a good time. I was crying in hotels and
really,
I was never home.
Yeah.
You know, so I used to bring my children up because my wife went back to work. So then I had to go. And it's hard going, driving the car all the time, away all the time. The children, you go home and you're not going away again, Dad. Yeah, nice. Not nice. Everybody gets in the profession, not just professional snooker, in, you know, the travelling and everything. But with me, I couldn't go in the motorway cafes.
Yeah, I don't blame you,
I
mate.
started going in the motorway cafes. And there's people look at you and they point at you and they don't say, they don't talk to you. You know. In the end, when the vans, you know, have a sausage sandwich. You know. Well, it's like I said before. It's like I felt like a woman walking across the motorway cafe like that, inside, with no clothes on. That's what I felt. Honestly,
Getting all the whistles though, yeah?
Oh,
the whistle, the finger points.
I didn't like it at all. No, I don't like things like that.
When Emma's used to getting all the whistles, ain't you, darling?
Stop it.
Emma's used to getting all the whistles from all the guys, isn't she?
There you are.
Terry.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Okay.
I'm getting.
I'm making her blush
I'm
now,
blushing
guys.
now.
All right.
What do you do to relax away from snooker?
Relax away from snooker.
Do you get a chance to relax?
Yes, of course I do. I play a lot of music.
Really?
I do a lot of gardening.
Okay. What music do you
I
like?
have a lot of time with my family. I enjoy with my family. That's nice now. And I got a small bungalow now, which we moved from a bigger house, which is easier for me, you know.
Yeah.
And relax with that. You know, I think I love the television. I like most of the sports, so I watch them, and those are relaxing for me, you know, more than anything else. But I don't go out a lot drinking. I don't drink a lot now anyway.
You're not partying on the dance floor anymore then, Terry, no?
No.
You're not that in the head now?
No, nobody could beat me on the dance floor.
What sort of music do you like, Terry? What do you listen
Everything.
to? Everything.
Yeah. I'm going to show you what I got now. I've just
Show us your playlist.
I've just
Show us your
started new
playlist.
ones now. These are the I find them. I find them everywhere. These things. Dodie, I showed you it, didn't I? Down in London. Dodie.
Dodie.
Dido or Dodie?
Dodie, not Dido. No. There she is.
Okay.
Absolutely superb. She's going to be a superstar talent now, honestly. And then you got another one here now. Bobby Gentry's The Delta Suite. Mercury there. Is that one? Lovely music. Then you got that one there, Frank Hamilton. You may know him because he's been around a long time.
I'm
quite
impressed
famous.
by his playlist.
Very impressed.
Then I got A Brief Inquiry, which is the 1975 won the Group of the Year, didn't they, in the
Brief
awards?
Inquiry.
Yeah.
I think I remember the name.
Delta with the Mumford and Son, I like that.
Mumford and Son, yeah.
Oh,
Heard of them,
I
yeah.
like them.
Yeah,
Dire
your mum
Straits,
said it, Mumford and Son,
Yeah.
Human League, Joshua Tree U2, Keeping Faith is lovely. Did you watch that?
Keeping Faith.
Did you
What was
watch
it?
Keeping Faith?
No.
Oh, that's stunning that was. TV show just stunning.
I want to see the moves to go with the
That's
songs
what
now.
I'm quite a lot
I'm
there,
glad to see
you
the
know.
moves, Todd. That's what I'm glad to
There's
see.
one I had now, I don't think I can pronounce them. Cara and O Dang something. There it is. Cara and O and Danger Mouse is called.
Danger Mouse.
Danger Mouse.
There you are, you see.
This is brilliant.
So it's definitely a mixed selection then. So there we go, guys. See it? He's breaking us a little bit of his music off now.
This is a 9-minute song. Beautiful. That is a very, very relaxing music. I won't put it on now. I don't want you to get relaxed.
Yeah, so yeah, I don't want to get too relaxed on camera.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
We've still got quite a few hours to
Okay.
on work mode.
Different class, though. Look. So it's
My
good
wife thinks I'm mad with it because I always pick up different type of music. She thinks I'm mad. What do you buy something like that for then? Well, I like it. Oof, I don't like it.
She tells me she sends him shopping.
Oh God,
She gives them
I
shopping
look
lists.
after her as good as I can.
Yeah, well, it's got to be done. So you've got to look after the special lady. As they say, every step behind every man's a great woman, isn't it, pal?
Yeah.
So there you go. But look, it's been fantastic catching
Good,
up with you,
thank
mate.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
And
Pleasure as always. Thank you.
Thank you.
guys, me and Emma will catch you for the rest of the week throughout London now, and
Yeah,
and
I'll
further on.
be about, yeah.
So guys, signing off and catch you all soon.
Cheerio.
4-1.